All right, shalom, shalom, boys. Here, well, been finished. I wouldn't say a hard day's work, a meticulous day's work of restoring kitchen cabinets. And I tell you, I mean, it's a beautiful thing to have real skills. But I was just thinking, I saw something on Facebook, and I just want to share something with you about my experiences and what I've observed in others and how I've applied this to myself in my own life when it comes to relationships. Recently, we've seen the current breakup of Michael B. Jordan and Lori Harvey. And we see the kind of history that this woman has had with previous men. Uh, we can see the kind of character that a man like Michael P. Jordan uh, exemplifies. Uh, he's not a street guy. He's not a guy that, he's not for the streets. Uh, Very accomplished brother. We've seen him in many movies, including Black Panther, a lot of movies. I mean, the guy's an excellent actor, I think, in my opinion. And he links up with a Lori Harvey. And excuse me, I'm still trying to work this camera. But uh, we see uh, that you cannot make a woman or a whore into a housewife. You can't make a person that is for the streets. You can't convert them into some type of wife material. And we see today, see, the numbers don't lie. We have 50%, 54%, something like over 50% of black men that are single, childless, and have never been married. That's a problem. That is a statistical problem. And then you see women that they get on Facebook and they talk righteous, or the ones that you see this ass pic phenomenon where everybody's taking a picture of their ass. Everybody got a these are the makings, and these are the characteristics of a modern day whore, a modern day thought, a modern day tramp. I don't care if she has a PhD or MD or whatever. These are trashy women, and it just goes to show you. I'm talking about for accomplished men. I'm talking about for men who are men of ability, men of the Boaz caliber. Uh, we're finding that these men are having a more and more difficult time meeting up with a Ruth, meeting up with a woman of of good lineage, of good honor and integrity. I'll tell you a story that and this goes to the story that I recently saw, and the experience that I've had. We have an elder. I won't say his name, but he described a situation where he's taken on a wife, and that wife is rebellious. He has to constantly sit back and correct her. He has to take his time and energy out in uh, teaching her things that her mother and her father did not teach her. And the simple reason why they could not teach her how to be a wife is because they're not husband and they're not wife material at all. See, what we're going on in Israel today is a whole bunch of Pookie and Bonquisha marriages being passed off as virtuous, set apart, set again, all of this stuff. We have a epidemic of Pookie and Ray Ray Israelites, Bonquisha and Taquisha head wrapped Israelites that are coming into the faith and presenting themselves to be some type of holy and righteous, whatever, but they're not but a whole bunch of banshees and heathens. And so, going back to the story, you get other reports of this same woman uh, publicly dishonoring and disrespecting this man. And see, the idea is that if you're an elder, you see, it's worse than an elder because the scriptures are clear on men of in leadership and positions and how their own households should be conducted. And clearly, this is not the case. Now, I understand that, one shall not rise up against the other, but out of the mouth of two or more eye witnesses, uh, not people that heard, but people that saw it themselves, let every word be established. And so, through this man's own testimony and eyewitness accounts of people that I have met and that I know, that I ain't got to grind, axe to grind or whatever. Say, yeah, man, this woman is a rebellious ass woman. Out of his own mouth, this woman is troubled. She's a rebellious ass woman. And it just goes to show you today that the lengths in which men have to go through in order to build out their families. It's sad to see situations where, because see, me personally, I don't have the stomach to deal with a rebellious ass woman. I don't have the stomach or the time or the energy or the interest to invest any kind of spiritual energy into a damaged, broken, rebellious ass woman. I just don't have time. I really don't have time. Uh, me personally, my thing is, if someone has the time, if someone wants to invest in this kind of situation, me personally, I have no issue towards it. I just know what the scriptures say when it comes to these quality and caliber of women. But it's sad to see testimony. It's sad to see multiple sources of people who say, you know what, this is not a good quality woman. Uh, uh, and then you see it yourself. Now, again, you have testimonies of others that don't know one another. You have testimonies of that old man himself saying that this woman is a damn headache. And again, it is very sad and it's very unfortunate that we're in a state where men today, I'm talking about capable men. I'm talking about men of ability. I'm talking about men that got their shit together. I'm not talking about the Pookies and Ray Rays. I'm not talking about the struggle dudes. I'm not talking about the dudes that think that they got real skills and they don't have real skills. I ain't talking about none of them guys. I'm talking about the men with real skills. Like, I go back to Michael Jordan, men that are clearly are not come from stable homes, uh, uh, ready to settle down, ready to marry, but cannot find good quality women to meet up with. And it's a sad deal to see that we've fallen in such a states where, at a state where men today have to link up with repair jobs, because that's what it is. It's nothing but a long term headache and repair job. Because see, women today, uh, uh, they have no honor, they have no integrity. Jezebel today, is nothing wrong with being a single mother with multiple baby daddies. It's nothing wrong with having a high body count. It's nothing wrong with any of these things being a Jezebel. See, it's praised today. Nobody says anything about it today. It's very much welcome. See, evil has become good, and good has become evil. This is what we're dealing with today. We're dealing with the debauchery and the total breakdown of the marriage and family structure today. And this is what men are dealing with today. It's a sad deal. It really is a sad deal. Um, who is enabling these people? I was watching a video, and I'll end it here. Of the woman that was, I forget, she was in the Midwest or somewhere. They claimed initially that she was pregnant and she got shot. So the initial story that came out was that she was pregnant. She had a confrontation with police and they shot her like a dog. Turns out she just now got to finish robbing, doing a carjacking, and she was brandishing a gun at the cops, and the cops shot her, and she's in jail now, and she's going to jail. She's going to prison. You see. But it was initially rolled out that she was some type of victim. And the interesting thing of the whole scenario is what was stated about this woman. You got people on camera, on the news, stating that they didn't care whether or not She was pointing a gun at a police officer. They didn't care whether or not she just not got to finish carjacking someone. They did not care whether or not she was a degenerate. All they cared was that she was a black woman and there needs to be justice and so forth and so on. The fact is, see, at the end of the day, the cops don't care about none of this hoopla. They're gonna send her ass to jail. And she wasn't pregnant. You see? See, this is why you always have to wait for stories to come out to get the whole story, because like the Kevin Samuels situation, everything that came out initially about he was with some prostitute and he picked some woman up and this and the third, all of that was untrue. And you have people like Jamal Bryant. I know in person, a prick and an asshole and a pig and a dog coming out having to apologize and to retract their stories. You see, but it's nothing like getting it out of the horse's mouth and how to two or three witnesses that experiencing something, that's seeing that these women today are not even really quality. It's a damn shame. Me personally, I don't have the time, the energy, the effort to deal with damaged goods. I know what I do with damaged goods. I get rid of it. It's no good. You know what I mean? You know, a piece of wood or whatever that can be cut down to size or whatever from the call die, that's a totally different thing. But you can't build a foundation on damaged and warped 4x4s and 4x6s. You can't do it. And this is what we're dealing with today. You know, listen here. You know, I mean, I got no problem with somebody that's willing to deal with that, that's willing to go through that. Maybe that there is a diamond in the rough, but that is just not what the scripture's saying. This is why I say we've fallen so far from our biblical values, from our biblical foundations. Right is wrong, wrong is right. Uh, you see men today calling themselves elders and pastors and stuff, sending their women out to work, their W-2 employees. You see rebellious women. It's off the chain. It's off the chain. But this is what we have today. And you believe you me, these people believe that they're righteous, that you believe that they're just, they're moral, when everybody can clearly see the discrepancy. Everybody can clearly see the hypocrisy. You see, because see, you can't garner respect from somebody, especially in a foundation of a marriage situation, or and you're in a leadership position, if your shit is foul, if your shit is jacked up, people look at you and they don't take you seriously. This is the problem that we're having today. We need to be more stern, more forthright in our understanding of biblical marriage and apply those principles, because if not, we're finished. Look at the examples of today. Again, one shall not rise up out of the other against another, but out of the mouth of two or three or more witnesses, let every word be established.